Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is a top 25 of all time, an updated version of basically the best of the best that I did in March of 2022, of bars that I just love from Scentsy that I think are outstanding. And of course, being me, just 25 bars is not enough to satisfy the number of things that I hold dear from Scentsy. So I've got 25 categories that I made up, and then a couple of extra loose bars that I guess are going to be bonus categories, wink wink, that are other ones that I just think are exceptional. And I have tried in this video to focus on more recent additions to my Scentsy collection and scents that there are some old gold standards here, but scents that are newer in my experience since I filmed last time, mixed in with some of the old but good ones. So I have a top 25, and then there's a runner-up in each of my little made-up categories, and like I said, a couple of extra loose bars at the end that we'll just throw in because I think they're fantastic. So I hope you guys buckle up and enjoy my top 25 of all time of the Scentsy Bar collection and experience of Elizabeth Quinn, at least. So let's dive right on in. I have my list here. I thought it would be best to start with the categories that are in our catalogs. So floral, fresh, woods, fruity, bakery, spice, and citrus. I really struggled with what are the best bars in these categories that I am currently enjoying. Some of them are old and they might be in my club, and some of them might be new. And to start off with good old floral. Now, there really isn't a floral bar at the moment in the catalog that I think is the best of all time for me personally. And these are both, one of them's in my club and one is completely discontinued and was in my club for a short period of time, a long time ago. Lush Gardenia is an absolutely incredible bar. And why am I putting this at the absolute top of my floral list? Because over time, I have truly fallen in love with this, and I'm so glad that when they discontinued it a few years ago that I did throw this thing in my club. And I do have some other categories that will include other floral aspects of scent, so there are newer bars that are not old standards like this that you're also going to see in this video. But this one, yesterday I was dealing with our new garden gardenia. I don't remember the name of it, but it's in our new garden collection that is associated with Disney and the Epcot Flower Show. This is just the best. The other one is very nice, but with the greens in it, it just does not compare. If you want the most glorious floral I think Scentsy's ever made, this Lush Gardenia is absolutely spectacular. And then the other one that really, really blesses me every time I'm brave enough to warm what little I have is Blue Hyacinth. This is one of the most authentic scents Scentsy ever made that is floral. It truly smells like a bunch of bulb hyacinth pushing up out of the spring soil, and it is loveliness. I have, a bar and a half left. I'm going to make myself probably warm that other half a bar and have a hard time hoarding this one and not letting go of it. So those are the best of the best for me right now in the floral category. Next we have fresh, and I do have to say that my favorite fresh bar of all time is slightly on the subtle side, and that is Amazon Rain, which is another classic. It's always around, and it's just fantastic. So I'm doing like the top 25 and then my runner-up for each of these. This you can experience in the catalog right now. It's absolutely glorious. It's creamy. It's got nice sort of lush tropical greens with coconut milk and some orange zest and some light, very simple jasmine floral, I think, underneath all that. It's a good medium throw, sometimes medium strong if you get it in the right warmer in the right space, and it is a home run for me always. Now, much newer, and this is a new addition to this type of a video, Mountain Sunset from last year. This is also in the fresh category in the catalog, and it is just phenomenal, you guys. I love this. It is so rich. It's so gorgeous. It's got coconut. It's got amber. It's got woods. It's got all sorts of things going on. And it's just a smile in a bar for me. And both of those are fresh in very different ways, and they really make your home feel good in the spring, summer. So next is the woods category, and I have to say that this is a hard one for me to narrow down because I love my woods, woodsy, Cologne type smells. But one of the reasons I was even thinking about doing this video was when I pulled Cashmere and Corduroy out of my last club video haul. I said, this is one of the top 25 bars of all time for me, and I absolutely stand behind it because you have strength, performance, the throw, the scent appeal, all of it. This is a fabulous bar. It's rich. It's got a woodiness. It has bergamot. It's got so many different lovely layers. Vanilla, Sicilian bergamot, and vanilla, I'm pretty sure. Rockstar bar. So then my runner-up would be Toasted Acorn and Oak, which is no longer available. This is in my club, but this is one of those woody, roasty, toasty smells that I never get sick of warming. It is so good. It's got all these layers with chestnut, and it's got the acorn, it's got the oak, it's got the warmth and some sweetness. Just recently, I did finally pull caramel chestnut from my club, and it was one of those things where between the two of them, plus I've got like 6 bricks of caramel chestnut, I'm not really losing out on anything. But between the two of them, Toasted Acorn and Oak, I like a little bit better, and it is really an all-time wood-type favorite of mine. So now we're going to go to fruity. My favorite fruity bar of all time is a fall bar, not that you're shocked if you follow me and you know my preferences. Autumn Road Trip is so incredibly good. And I thought about some other bars that are more, genuinely fruity all the way, but this is in the fruit category and it is totally my favorite. Like, I like sugared strawberry. I like a few others. I do have a spring summer runner-up here though. But man, the apple, the pear, and the woods, the silver oak that's in here, it's just my favorite. And it's a truly fruit-forward bar, but it's deep and fall and sophisticated and crisp, and I love it. So that's my favorite fruity bar of all time at the moment. And then the runner-up is Mango Matcha, which I always call the marvelous Mango Matcha. I love this bar. This is so saturated and it is so juicy and fruity, but it's got sharpness from the salted cucumber, and there's a little bit of matcha in here, which is green tea powder if you don't know. So nice. Please try this spring, summer if you haven't. So then the next one, this is really, really hard for me, because bakery is my favorite category, that and spice. So these are basic bakery bars that I'm putting in here. Now, when I wrote out my 25 different categories, I have spicy bakery, fruity bakery. I don't know, I made up enough bakery subcategories, things you'd want to melt on a rainy day, so that I could include all of my bakery loves. So these two are more basic, and I will melt them a lot. And they don't really need supporting actors. They're just good bakery bars. So probably my favorite bar of all time, if you take out any spice, is going to be Almond Croissant. I love this bar. It is so good, you guys. So good. It's rich. It absolutely throws like you would not believe. And it is just the kind of thing that I never get tired of. They invented this for a fall-winter catalog, I'm pretty sure, several years ago now, probably almost 10. And the first time I put this in a warmer, I was hooked, and I just love it. So that is my all-time favorite basic bakery bar. And then the runner-up for me in this category would be Butter Pecan, because when I think of bakery, I also really love nutty. And I didn't do like a separate nutty category for the top 25, so this is another one that's kind of an unsung hero. It disappeared quietly from the catalog a couple years ago, but it's rich and decadent and just, so yummy, you guys. So those would be my favorite plain bakery bars. Then we've got spice, and you know what my favorite spice bar is going to be, and that is good old clove and cinnamon. And I talk about this one a lot. It's just plain old hard-hitting clove and cinnamon. It smells like a hug. It is the most warm, inviting scent for me as a person. And then my runner-up is Cozy Spice. This bar I've had for years in my club. And this is a little more subtle. If this ever comes back for something, bring back my bar or some other special collection or retro collection or whatever, hopefully, please try this. It's more nutmeg forward, probably the most nutmeg bar we've ever had. I know First Day of Fall has nutmeg in it, but there's a sharpness from Golden Woods. This is just beautiful spice. Oh, it's so good, and it's kind of mellow, and I love it. So then we have citrus, and I'm not a huge citrus person. I do like other categories better, but I have a couple that stand out head and shoulders above the rest. The first one is Cocoa Lime, which I just love. I talk about this all the time. This is now my favorite spring-summer bar that's currently available in the catalog. It's just so good because I love my coconut and zippy lime. It's just such a nice mix. It's medium throw. It's not going to absolutely be a boomer in your house, but it just is such a happy smell. Now the next one is my runner-up, and it's such a classic. Coconut Lemongrass is a fantastic citrusy scent. It's strong. It will banish any kind of odors in your house, but it's also just zippy and happy. Very, very good performer and a true classic, and I love it. So now we're going to get into the specifics of what would be my favorite bar for the seasons, and then of course for holiday like Christmas time, and then we'll get into all my subcategories so I can squeeze in all my favorite bars. So for holiday, because I do have at the very end of the video my very favorite bar and runner-up bar of all time Scentsy's ever made. So my new glorious favorite in the holiday category is Sweet Orange and Evergreen. I love this smell. This smell is so incredibly nostalgic for me. Oh, but only for Christmas time. It's perfection. It smells like old mistletoe tarts from Yankee, and it sends me directly back to my childhood. Grows beautifully. I'm so sad that they didn't put this in the catalog for those of you that missed out on it, but that one's in my club too, quarterly. And then my runner-up is Homestead Holiday, because this is the most amazing bar for pretty much everyone when it comes to Christmas time and holiday, just feel-good scent. This is a little bit more low-key than the Sweet Orange and Evergreen. It's definitely not as woodsy, because I love my pine, my spruce, my balsam, my all that. But this one has blood orange. It's got some fir needle and cinnamon stick. It smells like Grandma's kitchen at Christmas, and it is just absolutely beautiful. So next would be my fall bars, and this was really hard, so I invented another category a little bit down the road to kick another bar into this slot where I really wanted to talk about it, but not here. What's my favorite fall scent? What would be the scent that if that's the only thing I could melt, it would satisfy me? And that would be Cider Mill for sure. And again, I know this is a classic, but it's just so good, you guys. It's basic, but in the most perfect way. Pumpkin, apple, simmery spices. It's gentle, it's homey. It's so beautifully autumn. It's so good. It smells like the apple orchard. And I learned the hard way when this left the catalog and it's not in my club. My runner-up is going to be Bright Cider Life. I wish I had clubbed this. I've been getting some from bar swaps and things from different people, and I think I snagged a couple in a flash sale. So it's not like I have none, but this is also so quintessentially fall. This is a little bit more really at the cider mill, and you've got your cup of beautiful apple cider, and you've got your donut, and it's almost like the cinnamon sugar from the donut is mixing in the air with that apple cider scent. It's quintessential fall. It's so nice. So those are my fall picks. Now winter was a little bit hard for me. I wanted to say cinnamon bear because that's what I melt in the winter, but it doesn't remind me of winter. So when I went into my stash, iced pine is wintry. This is retired, but I have like a bar and a half left. I wouldn't melt this as much at Christmas as in the wintertime when this was still available. It is hard hitting, kind of pine sol pine, but in the best way, with just a kiss of peppermint, and it's phenomenal. So that's my winter scent, and then to round that out would be a newcomer, which is Sleigh Ride. I totally fell for this all November, December, January long. And this one's a little more Christmassy. Yes, it is, but it's so nice, you guys. I also really like Swirling Snowflakes, which is a bar that I only have a couple of that's in the basement, and I like a whole bunch of each category, but what are my absolute favorites? This Sleigh Ride was phenomenal with the cranberry and the fir boughs, and I loved it. Now, spring. For me, spring is my least favorite melting season because I just don't get into those scents as much as the other seasons. But I do have a couple of standouts. My favorite truly spring scent is Spring Forward. This is incredible. It's got quince, I think, raspberry jam, bergamot. It's a weird combination, but it has that crisp, very sharp, but still sweet scent of early spring wafting on the air. It's so good. So that would be my top favorite. And then my second one, my runner-up, is good old Sun-Soaked Petals. This smells like a field of daffodils in the springtime, totally. Watermint, it's got the daffodils, it's got some sort of currant. Again, it has that spring, sweet, tart sharpness of the outdoors that just makes it so amazing. Now, my summer bars have changed a lot. I don't even know if I did specifically these categories a couple years ago. I always like to mix it up. I don't like to do something the same way twice, if you noticed with me. So my new absolute favorite that evokes summer is Bonfire Beach. This has grown on me and grown on me over the years. I'm loving this now with the marshmallow, the sea spray, the flint, the sandstone. I mean, it is just, it's gorgeous. It's not sandstone, I'm sorry, that was in a different bar. Flint, sea spray, marshmallows. Oh my gosh. The wood, oh, beautiful, beautiful bar. Medium to medium strong throw if you get it right. Definitely try that if you haven't. And then another one that thankfully did come back in the spring summer catalog was a summer collection bar that I loved, and that is Kukui and Coconut. This is so nice, you guys. This is like suntan bronzer oil summer, and it is just so delicious. A little bit more subtle, but very nice. And of course, yes, I did invent some other categories that will squeeze in more summer type bars. Don't worry. Next is my category for smoky. Smoky and smoldery type things, and I have two of them here. Obviously, the Queen of Smoky from Scentsy has to be around the campfire, and it is a bar I love, and people don't talk about it. I always club it because I'm afraid it's never coming back. This is probably the best mixer on this table. It's just sweet sap, smoke, and wood, and fire. It's beautiful. I love it. And then this is a bar that I'm having a hard time categorizing. Cedar cider is somewhat smoky. It's very spicy. It's fruity. It's all the things, so I just threw it in smoky because I absolutely love this. And it's one where I could have put this in the fall category. I almost made like an apple and pumpkin category, but then I got too many of them and all that. So, I love all my pumpkin bars. I love all my apple bars. But this one has the best of all those fall things and really is the soul of a good bonfire night along with around the campfire. So here come my made-up categories so I can talk about more bakery. Spicy bakery. I love the Cozy Kitchen that we just got back in a brick for the holiday time this last year. This is a really classic bar that was in the Hygge collection years ago for Christmas time, a 5-bar bundle. I love this. It is just so cozy, but the spice is cinnamon, and it's got caramel, and it's got oats, and it's got cream, and it's one of those where the coziness factor is so high, and I will melt this all year round. So here's another spicy bakery that, even though this is probably my only truly pumpkin bar, I consider this bakery more than pumpkin, and that's pumpkin cinnamon swirl, and I will melt this all year. It is so good. It's cinnamon, vanilla, frosting, and then pumpkin. And you get that cinnamon and vanilla spice. It's just so decadent, you guys. I love this. So these are my spicy bakery picks. Next are my fruity bakery picks. And of course, one of these is spicy and fruity because I had to include apple butter frosting. But my top one that's really, truly very fruity is apple cherry strudel. Now, this one probably should be my runner-up as far as performance goes, but the smell of this bar is phenomenal. It's my favorite cherry scent, and it's one of my favorite bakery scents of Scentsy's making of all time. It's so authentic with the juicy cherry and the apple and the strudel and just a pinch of spice. It's phenomenal. And then good old apple butter frosting, which just like cashmere and corduroy, top 25, like top 10 as far as performance, and I love it. Apple butter frosting, so sad that they pulled this, and that so many people were clueless that they should have thrown it in their club. It's sweet, it's decadent, it's rich, it's got all that apple, it's got the spices. It's just phenomenal, fabulous performer too. Okay, rainy day bars. And I was worried I didn't have a clam of one of these. My favorite rainy day bar is Walnut Raisin Muffin, which is kind of a sleeper bar. It's not the most phenomenal bar of all time, but it's very craveable for me, and it is what I reach for on a rainy day. So it's subtly bakery with the walnuts and the raisins, and it's just low key. And it's cozy, and you want to have tea and a blanket and a good book. So nice. And then the other one that I put in this category is, for me, an all-time favorite bar, but I will reach for it on rainy days the most, and that is good old baked apple pie. This is a solid performer. I've said before, I think I'm one of the few consultants who really loves this. It's just cozy and happy. It's spicy. It's gooey. It's Grandma's kitchen, but not holidays, any day of the year. So good. And this one's always available, which makes me happy. So the next category is going to be mood lifter. I kind of wanted to put coconut lemongrass in that category, but I thought it was more appropriate to put it in citrus. These are two bars that when I put them in the warmer, they just make me happier. One of them brings me up and the other one relaxes me. Raspberry hibiscus tea. There is something about this bar that makes me smile every time I throw it in the warmer. And this was new last year. This is an incredibly good performer. It has an interesting mix of the hibiscus and the berries, and to me there's almost like some orange or citrus in the background. And it's just a bar that brings your mood up. It makes the house feel happy and vibrant and alive, and it's really good. So then the other one, it's a mood lifter, but it's a mood lifter when you need to be sort of snuggled, and that's going to be Fuzzy Blanket, because I wanted to include a lavender bar. Because for me, I am going to go to like a relaxing category, but for me that's more of a woods or body care or bedroom kind of a smell. This bar, this Fuzzy Blanket, it just reminds me of summer sunshine and being out on the beach. or a really nice cuddly pile of freshly washed laundry at my friend Becky's house when I was a little kid. So those are mood lifters for me. Then we get into a really hardcore relaxation. And of course, Vitamin R Relax has to be my top bar for that. This is so good. I'm so sad that this was just fleetingly in a collection, one of those LTOs, and people didn't know how nice it was, and now it's gone, and unless you have it in your club, you'll never see it again. It's got vanilla sugar. It's got, I believe, does this one have amber or sandalwood? I can never remember which. It is, or bergamot, or all of the above. It is so cozy and nice. And it is just the epitome of relaxation. And then my other favorite is good old Cozy Cardigan, which is usually in the fall-winter catalog. Right now it's in my club. I hope it comes back next year. This is just so relaxing for a bedroom type setting. And it's got silk, amber suede, blushing roses, whatever, all that mixed together in such a nice way. So the next one that I've got here is aquatic. And I struggled to really narrow this down, so one of the ones that has water in it I bumped into the tropical category, but Atlantic Air has got to be my favorite aquatic scent of all time. Again, this is in my club. It's so elegant. It's got the sea spray, it's got orchid, it's got the freshness, and it's a boomer in the house. It's really nice. But my runner-up is a newcomer from last year, and if I remember right, this is the best-selling new scent that we had from last summer, and that is Lake My Day. I was shocked, or at least it's one of the top sellers, how well this did. And I love this because it's aquatic, and it reminds me of my husband's cologne that he used to wear when we were like early in our marriage. This has some like oak moss and watery notes, and it's got warmth, and I grew up on a lake. I mean, this bar, it definitely nails aquatic in a beautiful way, and I love it. So now we get to tropical. So I do have a new favorite in the tropical category. There were a lot of bars I considered for this. Pina Colada Cha-Cha has grown on me over the last year, and I didn't put a lot of fruity bars in here, so this is one that I'm really liking, and I cannot wait to melt more of this summer. And it's got the best balance of the coconut and the pineapple, and it's creamy and it's gorgeous. So this is currently available, and I would tell you, please try it if you haven't. So what's my runner-up in the tropical category? This is like tropical / aquatic. Good old ocean air and coconut water from last summer's collection. Oh, you guys, it's so good. And it's warm. So the Atlantic air doesn't make me feel tropical. This absolutely does. And we were just on a cruise, and I wish that I could have taken this bar with me because it's light and floaty and sweet and just beautiful tropical water. So then there are some other floral bars that to me they're very heady and they go more in a perfumey direction. So this is perfumey floral. That's the next category. And these are so close. The runner-up is as good as the one that I'm going to choose first. My favorite right now is absolutely soft plumeria, which is available in our garden collection that is associated with Disney. This is so good, you guys. It's the most beautiful, creamy, perfumey plumeria, like body wash, body lotion from the 90s. And then you add these other layers of a little bit of teak, a little bit of apple. It throws so well, and I love the color. I mean, how could you not be happy with this bright yellow? And then the runner-up, which was so close, I almost put this on the top, is Cinderella Happily Ever After, and this is gardenia, frosted lemons, and forget-me-nots. And this is a little more subdued, and this is so elegant. I wish I could get this as a perfume. It is phenomenal. Love this bar. And this kind of comes and goes in our licensed collection, so look for it, I'm sure, in the next year or so, and try this if you like floral at all. So then, of course, if we did perfume, we have to do cologne. So my favorite cologne scent of all time has to be Hendrix, because it is sandalwood patchouli. I love patchouli. It's rich and deep and dark. It's the kind of cologne my husband would not be caught dead wearing, and so I get to have it in a bar, which he'll usually tell me to turn this off because he doesn't like it, but it's so rich and warm and deep and fantastic. So then the next one is a cologne scent that my husband and I agree on. And I almost threw in Hometown Cowboy. They're very similar, but White Amber and Teak performs like amazingly. And this is my other favorite cologne scent. And this goes more in a leather and sophisticated and updated way, that direction. And this is currently available, and it's so good, you guys. Oh, okay, so then what's next? Vanilla. So, my favorite vanilla of all time, if I'm really going to be honest, is Sugar Cookie. It's not a floral vanilla, it's a bakery vanilla. But my favorite, and of course I dropped it, just a second. I'm back, I promise. It went all the way across the room. My favorite floral vanilla is simply vanilla. My favorite bakery vanilla is sugar cookie. So I don't even know if you could say that there's a runner-up here. They're just totally different. But sugar cookie's available in Club, in a brick, and it is absolutely decadent and delightful. And I probably go through more volume of this than most other scents because you can mix it or pair it with so many things. And then good old Simply Vanilla is just gorgeous. It's just so happy. And it just makes me very calm. This is a scent that's also kind of relaxing. It's comforting. It's familiar. So if you're having a tough day and you just want to come down a notch but you're not ready for lavender, I think Simply Vanilla is perfect, and it's just always appropriate. So then I was thinking nostalgic. What are some really nostalgic scents for me? And I have two here. One of which is highly unusual, and the reason that it's nostalgic is it has a hint, and this is really weird, but I'm a child of the 80s, of the plastic My Little Ponies I used to play with as a girl. And that is going to be Love and Happiness. It also smells like roasted chestnuts. It is the strangest bar, but this just makes me feel like a kid again, or it makes me feel very, very comforted. It's warm, it's got vanilla, it's got the chestnut, it's got the powdered sugar, it's got all these things in it. And it's just phenomenal. So this makes me feel like a kid, and it's nostalgic. And then when it comes to classically nostalgic scents from, again, my growing up era, some potpourris, some room sprays, anytime you go to a craft bazaar, sweet orange pomander, oh, be still my heart. I love this bar, or brick. I have it in both. This scent, it just makes me so happy. It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel like it's November, and I know that we're going to go and we're going to run around at the craft bazaars and pick out beautiful things to wrap for people for Christmas, you know, special handmade presents and all that, because craft bazaars were big in my area when I was a teenager and a little younger. At one point, my mom and I made this entire little house that had tiny, it wasn't really like a dollhouse, but it was kind of a mix between a dollhouse idea that you could put out in any room, and then you put these backdrops on it, and we found these wonderful, I'm totally going off on a tangent here, but these wonderful little handmade dolls that represented the Laura Ingalls Wilder stories, and we worked so hard to create that whole world together, and that is this for me. So that's a very powerfully nostalgic scent. So then, last but not least in the legitimate categories that I had, my favorite scent of all time. So I've got my favorite Fall Winter, which is my favorite scent of all time, ever, and my favorite Spring Summer scent that Scentsy has ever made. So y'all know Cozy Fireside is the bar that I will never give up if I had to get rid of everything else on this table. Because this is my Christmas Eve as a little girl. This is the smell of all of my mother's red candles that would drip all over the place, and everything else that was just perfect from my childhood. It's all the good things wrapped into one glowy, embery, fabulous, sensational moment. And that is Cozy Fireside. And then just because it is such a phenomenal scent, Summer Holiday has always been my favorite summer type smell, spring summer smell that Scentsy makes. I don't know exactly how they squeezed so much in here. And this could have gone in perfumey, this could have gone in spring, but it's just better than any of that. For me, this is such an outstanding bar. It's got vanilla, orange, tiger lily, all sorts of things squeezed in here. It's kind of like Endless Weekend from Bath & Body Works if you've never smelled this, but I was so sad when they pulled this from the catalog, and it's in my quarterly club, never coming out. So good. So then the other bars that are just sort of, I love them, but they're kind of over the top as far as I couldn't find a place for them. Maple Rum Cake is the strangest scent that I love, where it smells terrible on cold. And warm, it's this deep, rich, gooey spice cake, so this is a real standout for me, but I couldn't figure out where to put it. I absolutely love Hemingway, which is very appley, it's very Cologne-y, it's very spicy, it's too many things all at once for me to categorize well. But this is another just outstanding bar, excellent performer. And I do have a couple of licensed bars, which I didn't really make a specifically licensed category. The Three Thumbs Up Haunted Mansion is my favorite new spice bakery bar. And I just had to mention this. It's like beautiful pumpkin bread. And then last but not least, a really, really fun bar, because I didn't really make like a fun category, is good old Stitch Experiment 626. He's available right now. This is such a happy spring summer smell. And when people get a hold of this, it's a bestseller. I know that. It's been clubbed like crazy. This bar just makes you smile. So I wanted to recommend all of those. I think maybe about a third to a half of them are currently available, but this is my current best of the best, top 25 and just a few more of all time. This is Elizabeth with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this, and I would really like to know, what are your top 5? Like, those are the bars that you would fight people to keep them in your club or to get a stack of them. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.